everyone, welcome back to the Freelance Launchpad, the show that helps you go from I have a skill to I have a business. I am your host Ramya Ganti. Today's episode is one I genuinely wish someone had handed me on day of freelancing. We are talking about the 5 things I wish I knew before my first client. The pricing mistakes, the contract gaps, the burnouts, the awkward client hunting, all of it. And I am not doing this one alone. I have got Prasanth with me today, who has been freelancing in writing and content for a good few years now and has honestly lived through pretty much every one of these lessons firsthand, sometimes the hard way. Prasanth, welcome you to the show.
Thanks for having me, Ramya. Happy to be here. When you told me the topic, I actually laughed a little because I think I have made every mistake we are about to talk now.
That's exactly why I wanted you on. Before we get into it, quick reminder to hit follow or subscribe wherever you are listening, because we have got a whole series coming up on building a sustainable freelance career and you won't want to miss the rest of it. Okay, Prasanth, let us set the scene a little. Just to give listeners some context, how long have you actually been freelancing and what does your day-to-day work look like?
Sure, I have been freelancing full time for about 4 years now, mostly writing content for websites, some ghostwriting, and a bit of copywriting for smaller businesses. Before that, I had a regular job, so the jump into freelancing was its own adjustment. But yeah, the first year or so was a real crash course in everything nobody tells you about.
Okay, what actually made you take the leap in the first place? What is planned or did it kind of happen?
Bit of both, honestly. I'd be writing on the side for about a year and I kept telling myself I would go full time once I felt ready. In the end, a project came in that paid more than a month of my regular salary. And that was the push I needed to actually commit. I don't think I ever wouldn't have felt fully ready. I just had to jump.
That's such a relatable story. I think a lot of people are waiting for a feeling of readiness that never quite arrives. Perfect. That's exactly the perspective we need today. Let us start unpacking it. Okay, let us start with the one almost every freelancer trips over: underpricing. When people start out, they price based on what feels safe to charge, not what the work is actually worth. Prasanth, be honest, did that happen to you?
Oh yeah, completely. When I first started, I basically charged whatever I thought people would say yes to, not what the work actually took out of me. I remember taking a blog writing project. I quoted a flat rate per article without really thinking about research time, revisions, calls with the client, any of that.
Oh, and how did that play out?
Badly in hindsight. That one project ended up taking almost double the time I expected because the client kept wanting just one more revision. Once I actually sat down and worked out my real hourly rate on that project, it was honestly kind of embarrassing. I was making less than I would have at a part-time retail job.
That's such a common story. What actually made you sit down and do that math?
Burnout, mostly. I was working long hours and still felt broke and something didn't add up. So I built a simple habit. Before I quote anyone now, I estimate the real time a project will take, including revisions and calls. Then I price from that, not from what feels comfortable to ask for.
That's a great shift. I did something similar. I started tracking my actual hours for a month just to see where my time was going, and it was eye-opening. Do you have any rules of thumb for how much buffer you build in now for revisions or scope changes?
Yeah, I usually add about 20 to 30% on top of my estimate just as a buffer, and I'll say upfront in the quote how many rounds of revisions are included, so it's not open ended.
That's such a practical takeaway for any listening. Price around the real value and time involved, not around what feels comfortable to ask for, and always build in a buffer. Okay, did you find it hard to actually raise your rates with exciting clients once you realized you were undercharging?
Very hard at first. I was terrified they would say no and just leave, but when I finally did it with a bit of notice and a clear explanation of why, most of them just said okay. The ones who pushed back hard or disappeared were usually the same clients causing the most scope creep anyway. So, in my hindsight, losing them was addition by subtraction.
Okay, that's such an important point. The clients who value your work will usually understand a fair rate increase, and the ones who don't were probably not the right fit anyway. Which actually leads perfectly into the next one, contracts. I used to think a friendly email exchange basically counted as an agreement. It doesn't. Did you learn that one the hard way too?
Yes, and this one still makes me wince a little. I had a client where the project kept just growing a little every week. First, it was one article, then it became, oh, and can you also write the social captions? Then, can you also do a quick edit on the old ones? There was no contract. So there was nothing spelling out what was actually included. And it quietly turned into way more work than I would agree to for the same original fee.
That's classic scope creep, where a project quietly grows past what was agreed. Usually, one small ask at a time. How did you handle it in that moment?
Awkwardly, honestly, I didn't want to seem difficult, so I just absorbed the extra work for a while and I ended up resenting the project by the end. That's when I decided I would never do a project again without something in writing, even a simple one-page agreement.
Oh, what do you always include in a contract now?
Now I always write down exactly what's included, the number of pieces, the number of revision rounds, when payment is due, and what happens if the client goes quite part way through the project. It sounds a bit formal, but it actually makes the relationship more relaxed because nobody is guessing what's covered.
I think that's the part people underestimate. A contract isn't just legal paperwork, it's really a boundary setting tool. It protects the relationship as much as the money.
Exactly. And most reasonable clients actually respect it more, not less. It signals that you talk the work seriously.
Okay, third lesson, freelancing gives you freedom over your schedule. But without structure, that freedom can quietly turn into working constantly. I know I struggled with this one. How do you protect your time now compared to when you started?
In the beginning, I said yes to everything, every deadline, every last minute call, every can you just hop on a quick chat? And I burned out fast. Maybe within the first 6 months, I was answering messages at 10 at night because I felt like I had to be constantly available to prove I was reliable.
Oh, what changed?
I started blocking off specific hours for actual focused work and I stopped taking client calls outside of a set window. Say only between 10 and 4. If something's genuinely urgent, it can usually still wait a few hours. And most of the time, it turns out it wasn't as urgent as it seemed.
Okay, any specific habit that made the biggest difference for you?
Building in buffer time, like we talked about with pricing, but for my actual schedule too, I used to estimate a project down to the exact hour, and something always ran along. A client would be slow to give feedback, or I would hit a creative block. Now, I pad every estimate and every day's schedule, and it's completely changed how manageable my weeks feel.
Okay, that's such a good point. Buffer time shows up everywhere once you start looking for it. Do you ever still feel struggle with switching off even now?
Sometimes, yeah, it's a muscle you have to keep exercising, but having set hours and literally closing my laptop at the end of the day has helped more than any productivity app ever did.
Okay, let's talk client acquisition because I think this is the part beginners worry about most. Where do most of your clients actually come from these days?
Mostly referrals at this point. One happy client tells another or recommends me when someone in their network needs a writer. But that only started working once I got consistent about showing up in one or two places instead of trying to be everywhere at once.
Oh, what did that consistency actually look like early on?
I picked one freelance platform and one professional community, and I committed to showing up there regularly for a few months. Sharing samples, answering questions, being genuinely helpful, not just pitching myself. It felt slow at first, almost like nothing was happening, but the momentum builds quietly in the background.
Oh, what would you tell someone starting completely from zero with no portfolio and no referrals yet?
Pick one place your ideal client actually spends time, a platform, a community, even a specific hashtag or forum, and show up there consistently for a few months before judging whether it's working. Consistency beats spreading yourself thin across 10 platforms you never fully commit to.
Okay, I really like that framing. Depth over breadth. It takes the pressure off trying to be everywhere. Okay, let us talk practical tools for a minute because I think this trips people up too. Do you use any specific systems to keep track of invoices, deadlines, or clients?
Nothing fancy, honestly. I use a simple spreadsheet to track which client owes what and when it's due, and a basic calendar for deadlines with reminders a couple of days before, not just on the day. For invoicing, I use a free invoicing tool rather than just emailing a PDF because it makes follow up on late payments much less awkward.
Okay, that's such a good advice. Having a system removes so much of the mental load of remembering everything yourself. Any tool or habit you wish you would adopt sooner?
Tracking my time actually, even now that I quote flat rates, I still track hours in the background just so I know if a type of a project is actually profitable or if I am quietly underpricing myself again. It saved me from repeating old mistakes more than once.
Okay, I love that. Treating your own time as data you can actually learn from, not just something that disappears into the work. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to ask you one bigger question. If you could go back and give your very first year freelancer self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Honestly, that slow and steady really is the way. I spent so much of my first year comparing myself to freelancers who seemed to have it all figured out, and it made me anxious and impatient. Looking back, everyone's timeline is different, and the freelancers who last are usually the ones who treated it like a long game, not a sprint.
Okay, That's such a grounding thought to end on. Any final quick tip for someone listening who is thinking about freelancing but hasn't taken the leap yet?
Start before you feel ready. Take on a small project on the side, learn from it, and let your systems, your pricing, your contracts, your schedule improve gradually. You don't need everything figured out on day one, you just need to start.
Okay, one more thing I want to touch on before we wrap up, the emotional side of this. Freelancing means a lot more direct rejection than a regular job. How did you deal with that early on?
Honestly, it stung a lot more than I expected. I remember pitching a client I really wanted to work with, putting real effort into a proposal, and just getting silence back. No response at all. In a regular job, rejection is usually filtered through a manager or a process. But freelancing, it feels much more personal.
Okay, how did you learn to not take it so personally?
Volume helped, honestly. Once I was sending out proposals regularly instead of pinning all my hope on one. A single no or silence stopped feeling like a verdict on my worth as a writer. I also started reminding myself that a lot of rejections have nothing to do with quality. Budget, timing, internal politics on their end, things I can't control or even see.
That's such a healthy reframe. Did you ever deal with imposter syndrome, feeling like did not deserve to call yourself a professional writer?
All the time, especially in year one, I would see other freelancers online who seemed so much more confident and established. And I would wonder if I was even doing this right. What helped was keeping a simple folder of good feedback from clients, testimonials, nice emails, that kind of a thing, and rereading it on the harder days. It sounds small, but it genuinely helps to have actual evidence instead of just your own doubts.
Okay, I love that idea. A folder of proof for the days your brain won't believe you. That feels like such a practical human tip to end this section on. I love that. Start before you feel ready. So, to wrap up everything we covered today, price around value, not comfort, and always build in a buffer. Get everything in writing, even with people you trust. Protect your time before it protects itself. Find clients by showing up consistently in the right place, not by pitching everyone. Keep a simple system for tracking your invoices, deadlines, and hours. And when rejection or self-doubt creeps in, remember it's part of the process, not a verdict on your worth. Freelancing really is a long game, not a sprint. Prasanth, thank you so much for being so open with your stories today. I think a lot of listeners are going to see themselves in at least one of these moments, whether it's the pricing mistake or the imposter syndrome.
Thanks for having me, Ramya. This was genuinely fun and a little nostalgic revisiting some of these mistakes.
Okay, if this episode helped you, follow the Freelance Launchpad wherever you are listening and share it with one friend who is thinking about going freelance. We will be back next week with another conversation to help you build a freelance career that actually lasts. Until then, keep building. Bye bye.